How are you? Welcome to my channel. Have you seen the latest season of Love is Blind UK? Love is Blind UK came back for a season 2, and it's no surprise because season 1 was such a hit and season 2 came. Last season was interesting. We had two couples, but for this season we have one couple coming out of the experiment successful. That's like one successful marriage, and I just think that the men this season terrible. I cannot think of any other thing to describe them. They're just terrible. Before we dive deeper into the entire thing, my name is Voke and you're welcome to my channel. Stick around with me if you love reality TV. You can just check my channel and you'll see me talking about all sorts of reality TV and not just reality TV. I also talk about movies, series when I have the time. So let's chat. Let's chat about these people. So let's start with the pods. This is my least favorite part of the experiment. I don't know. I just think that wrap it up. Wrap it up. Let's move outside. I'm always keen to see the life after the aftermath, the reality check that's going to happen when they leave the pod. It doesn't mean that there are not good conversations in the pod. But most of the time my conversations are really just in chunks, and most sometimes some vital parts of conversations are cut off. But in the pod we saw some interesting characters that were not supposed to leave the pod in the first place. Let's start with Ashley and Billy. Billy is a military guy. He has background in military, and Ashley, oh god, Ashley is such a sweetheart. I love Ashley so much. She's someone that you want to be friends with. From her attitude that was portrayed in the show, she's just a sweetheart all around, and it makes sense because she works as an air hostess, a cabin crew member. And Billy is this guy that I think he's square. Yeah, I think he's square. And for me, him hammering on the fact that he doesn't want cabin crew, he doesn't want cabin crew. I don't know what it is about cabin crew that makes Billy want to run for the hills. Because I don't know. Even recently when I was watching Big Brother Ninja, the housemates were actually having a conversation as well, and they also said that they don't want anything to do with cabin crew members. So what is it about cabin crew people that people do not like? For me, the thing off the top of my head would be, oh, they travel a lot. So you'll be missing your partner. And that's understandable. But it seems like there's more to it that I don't really know, because even in the reunion, Ashley said that Billy said that she exposed him to the cabin crew life, that he didn't really like it. So is there some another negative connotation under this cabin crew thing? Let me know in the comments, because I do not know anything about the cabin crew life at all. I've never met anybody that was cabin crew before. So, and I've never seen anything online too about their life. Maybe I should just check Google, but you can help me by just quickly telling me what's it about cabin crew that people just want to run for the hills for, because I think that they are so cool. I really think they're cool. So that's why I think that Ashley and Billy will have never left the pods. Never. Ashley was the one carrying the entire relationship. She was just really keen on Billy. She thought that he was just this perfect guy that she like. You came for this experiment, you found him, and now you just want to run through the wall and just get married. That was Ashley's vibe. But for Billy, he was just still, oh, you're cabin crew, you're cabin crew. So I think they would have never ever left the pods. Moving on, it's Carl and Sarova. The funniest thing is that Carl and Sarova left the pods, and I was happy about that because I was rooting for their love story. Watching them, she's an Indian girl, he's from Pakistan. It's not like they had the best conversation or anything, but I just thought that okay, this is interesting. I would love to see this outside the pods. I was basically rooting for them. I don't know why I was rooting for them, but I wrote beside their name that I am actually rooting for these two. Coming out of the pot, it's another story. Then also Megan and Kieran. Megan and Kieran had this love triangle thing in the pot where Kieran also had a connection with Sophie. I think Sophie's entire reaction towards Kieran and Megan, it was over the top. Just a little bit over the top because it was just very unnecessary. And I was very happy to see that during the reunion, she already kind of calmed down for the entire thing, because I don't think Kieran wronged Sophie. That group that left, Bada and Jed, Javen and Katisha, these ones who have never left the pods in the first place. I think Katisha always preferred Javen over Demola. Her entire indecisiveness. It was so annoying to me because you already know who you like. You already know who you prefer, Katisha. I was so pissed off at her. I was very happy that she picked Demola because Demola was all about Katisha. From the beginning, he was writing songs to her. It was just really all about her. And she appreciated that about him. But she always knew that it was going to be Javen anyway. But she told the owner that, oh, it has to be you, because she said, okay, I'm going to dive into something new. But she's so used to people like Javen. Javen was in that pot giving Katisha nothing. She expressed this to him and he said, I do things my way, da da da. And after she told the mother that, okay, I'm not going to change my mind, you are the one for me, she did a complete spin around and went for Javen. And I'm happy about that she did that, because I think that she would have stressed the mother a lot if they left the pod. So she and Javen were not supposed to leave the pod at all, because you came for an experiment and now you are going back to the ways that you're used to. When you come for an experiment like this, you're supposed to have a tag list, a list that you are looking forward to. So you're supposed to know your red flags, your triggers, and everything, because this is something that's very important to you. But Katisha leaned towards something that she was familiar with, and she said there was no spark between she and Demola. I'm not saying she should have chosen Demola at all. I'm saying she would have left the experiment with nobody. She would have saved herself and us the time that she had with Javi, that entire heartbreak cycle she went through. But even her mother also said it, that she had been through a lot with a lot of men, with men in the past. It would have been better that she knew her triggers and decided that no, I want better for myself. But it was until Javen knew that, okay, this girl is developing cold feet. He even said at a point that she would have to propose to him. And we already know the show has this traditional way of doing things. All my time watching Love is Blind, I started watching Love is Blind US from season 5. I've not seen any lady propose to any man, so correct me if I'm wrong here. But the show has this traditional way of doing things, that you have to propose as the man to the woman. Maybe Katisha would have to propose to him. And he started putting his foot forward when he knew that, okay, Katisha might go to another guy, and that's Demola, someone who appreciates her more. He even went on to say that, he even lied as well and said Demola is love bombing Katisha, and that never happened. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to meddle on this for too long, but I'm just trying to show you how these men were not the standard at all. I mentioned Bada and Jed earlier. I didn't really see any red flags in Bada and Jed's relationship, if I'm being honest. I did not see it. Before I move on to the entire reality check that happened and the couples that made it, the couples that almost made it, Demola and Katisha, I'm glad that did not work out, because I think that Demola would have been doing all the heavy lifting in the relationship. I don't think Katisha would have been like, okay, it's really nice that this guy is all about me, but that would have been the case for Demola. So I'm happy she did not go for him. Then also Anu and Patrick. That relationship, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. And I think that Anu overreacted. Is it just me? I think Anu overreacted, because I know that Patrick has his flaws, some kind of things. The entire splain talk is weird. And okay, it may be not weird, because that's what he knows, that's what he likes. So yeah, maybe we'll not judge him for his choices. But at the same time, I think he wanted more from Anu, like he wanted her to open up more. But Anu was still holding back and saying, okay, oh. And the day that she decided that, okay, I'm going to put my best foot forward into this experiment, Patrick decided to call off their relationship, and Anu went off on him, calling him a liar and a liar. So, except there's some parts of the clip that we have not seen, their conversations we missed. I did not understand why she was calling him a liar, or because she kept on saying that, oh, he told her that he's all about her, and now he's calling it things off. Patrick did not have any other person in the show, so calling him a liar was a bit of a stretch, in my opinion. I don't know why she called him a liar. Even when they met, she was still very catty about the entire issue, and I was just wondering why. I think it was a tad bit unnecessary. But coming out of the pods, reality check started coming in, and we're saying that Sarova and Carl have cracks in their relationship. At first, I thought it was going to be on Sarova's end, but I saw Carl as well having this bravado about him, that, oh, yes, it was acting like he was the prize, if you ask me. Sarova and Carl were having a conversation in the pool, and Sarova is just really happy to be with Carl. She told him that, oh, you're my type. And Carl was not even nice about the entire thing. Just said, oh, you're not my usual type. And it was something that was recurring in their relationship. They met his brother. His brother said, oh, I know who you are. You're not going to put this girl first. This girl's going to put you first. Because Sarova is a sweetheart. Like I said earlier, these women are the standard. I don't know how these men fumble these women, like we say in popular culture. I don't know how they let these women go because I think that these women were too good for these men. Too good. They were very patient. Sarova, when it was time to stand up to her Indian mother, we already know how culture happens and how traditional Indians are. When Sarova is the first child, Sarava's mother already has a picture in her head of how she wants her first daughter's wedding to go. The mother was very graceful when she met them. Sarava stood up for herself. I'm talking about how these women are just peak. The men are not supposed to even touch any part of their body. Like, go far away. Why are you in this experiment if you're not all about getting married? If you're not all about doing the right thing? This man is walking around saying, "Oh, it's not my usual type. I like blonde hair. I like blue eyes." Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just sitting here and wondering, okay, you would have never left the pot with this girl because you're already aware of her heritage. And that's Indian because people have that conversation in the pods. I don't understand. Then also another one that was just really silly. On Billy and Ashley's camp, you were cabin crew, and I'm just sitting there wondering, you would have never left the port as well. And I think that Billy wanted Ashley to say, "Okay, I'm going to leave my job for you." I'm not the only one thinking that. I was that was what that it was as if that was what he wanted to hear from her. But he still said that, "Oh, I'm proud of you, but just that cabin crew." Okay, my job was on the secret to you in the port. Why are we outside? Why are we together? Davin and Katisha did not continue because Davin is just a disrespectful man. He saw other people from the experiment and he's giggling. He's acting like is not engaged to anybody. I don't even know how he showed his face in the reunion because he's just a foolish human being. I'm sorry for using such harsh words, but he doesn't take anything seriously. He has this silly laughter or silly smile on his face. And I'm just sitting there wondering, okay, do you realize that this is actually somebody's feelings you are actually playing with? I like that Katisha, when Megan came to her about Javen's attitude, and he listened to Megan. I'm very proud of that because a lot of people always say, "Oh no, don't meddle in anybody's relationship. If you see anything, keep your mouth shut. It's not your place to say." I think that if my friend sees the man I'm going to marry is acting out of character, I would love to hear from. I would love to hear. I don't play that entire thing of, oh, they just out of relationship, they're going to settle whatever. If you decide that I came to you as a friend to tell you that I think your man is acting funny, I saw him in a funny situation, and you decide to stay with him, does not make me a bad person at all. I only warned you because I like you as a friend. So I was very proud that Katisha listened to Megan on that front. Bada and Jed's relationship, it was just very vague. Their issues were pretty vague because we don't really see them blow out a lot. Even at a point, I think Jed's family asked that, "Have you ever had an altercation before?" And they said no. But it was after that meeting that they started having altercations. And I'm just sitting there wondering, okay, we already know that Bada says she's very independent, she likes to take care of herself, and it takes a while for her to let people in. She tried to let Jed in, but it was just very vague. That's why at the altar, her decision at the altar shocked me when she said no. And she revealed in the what was the reality podcast by AD that she actually wanted to say yes at the altar, but she just decided that, okay, his attitude leading up to that moment, there was just something that she could not handle. Again, what's the attitude? During the reunion, she revealed that, okay, he was. She tried to make it work. They were living together. She tried to make it work for a while, but he was not making it work at all. It was as if, okay, you broke up with me, you broke my heart, so now you have to earn my love. And he wanted her to not wear the ring that he gave her because of his ex at the gym. And he said, "Oh, it's a small town, it's a sex." And I'm just sitting there wondering, who is this guy? Another yes that surprised me was Sarova and Carl. I thought Carl was going to say no at the altar. I really did. And he said yes. Another person that surprised me that said yes at the altar was Billy, especially Billy. Because he, up until that moment, he kept on saying, "You are cabin crew. You are cabin crew." And when he said yes to Ashley, it was like Christmas morning. Ashley was so happy that he said yes. Come to reunion and was seeing that everybody had broken up. Everybody. Every single person except Megan and Kieran. Megan and Kieran's relationship, they were always about, it was always, they're very childlike. They were always laughing, always very goofy. I held my breath at a point when he met Sophie, and he was saying, "Oh, Sophie's a pretty girl." If they were at a bar, he would probably speak to Sophie, but he still respected his partner, Megan. They're always laughing. It was just cute. That's the only couple that survived Love is Blind UK. Every other couple had issues. And we're talking issues at as close as 3 months later. Sarova and Carl, they broke up. And Sarova is saying that he broke up with me January 2nd. After we've done this beautiful Christmas celebration together, everything was good. He just came up to her and told her that, oh, you are more affectionate than me. There's no spark. And Sarova is saying, okay, hold on. What are you talking about? He completely blindsided her. And he's sitting there saying, oh, he has commitment issues. You have commitment issues, Carl. Why did you come to the show? I just sat down there saying, what? I could not believe my ears. People are just starting the year and looking forward to life. You're telling me you do not want to be married anymore. What even made this funnier was the fact that Carl, at the beginning of the experiment, when they came out of the port and they went to Cyprus for their vacation, Carl was so pissed off at Katisha that she was indecisive about picking Demola and Javen. It was almost becoming a thing, like an issue, that Katisha was very indecisive and Demola is his guy. During the reunion, when Sarova revealed that, okay, this guy and I were no longer married, though, and see what he did to me, I was just like this. Okay, you had the mouth to question Katisha about her indecisiveness, but you went through this experiment, got married to this lady, and now you are telling her you don't want to get married anymore. And I wrote it down that he did come here for fame, but surely someone will not want this kind of fame, because this is not a nice fame to have, because he actually has a gym. So maybe he wants people because no matter what happens, some people can criticize certain people, while in the same vein, some people actually like a person. So, like they say, no marketing is bad marketing. So I think that's what Carl they came to do here, because I could not just understand why. Same thing was happening in Billy and Ashley's camp. These men are, I don't understand. Billy, he broke up with Ashley January 1st. Who does that to anybody? And the reason for this breakup, the same storyline, the same pipeline. There's no physical intimacy. We're not connecting well. There's we lost the spark. Okay, we can reignite the spark. No, we don't have to reignite the spark. I'm over it. And even the women insinuated that this man, they actually planned it. So maybe when Billy was done telling Ashley January 1st, he texted or he called, this is just me assuming now. He most likely texted or called Carl that I've broken up with her, so you do your own. That's what happened. And Carl broke up with Sarova the second day, the following day, citing the same thing. And it's just very sad to see that, okay, you thought I came for this experiment and we're happy, I'm married, and that happens. So of all the 5 couples that left the pods, one broke up. Bada was decent enough to say no at the altar to Jed. Then the other 3, they said yes to each other. But 3 months later, just one couple is left standing, and that's Megan and Kieran. Megan and Kieran, and they are basking in marital bliss. So yeah, that's what happened in Love is Blind UK season 2, and it has just been a very interesting season, if you ask me. Analyzing the entire thing, thinking about the attitude of the men, especially, just wondering that, okay, the bar is in hell. Because when I watched Love is Blind season 6, I was sitting there wondering to myself that, okay, it's still murky water, because you come into this experiment with the mind that, okay, outside the pool is just very big and you don't really know where you're standing. Love is Blind does the thing of filtering these excesses. So you come here and it's people that are decisive, people that want to actually find a connection that you're coming to speak with, not just random people at festivals or bar that, okay, you're not sure this person wants kids, you're not sure this person wants marriage in the next month, but yeah, you know that everyone came with a common goal, and that's marriage. But over and over every season, where we learn that people are here maybe for fame, maybe for things that are not marriage, basically. Like Carl, especially, because how are you telling me that you're not willing to, or you're not ready to put somebody above yourself, or you're not ready to be a husband? That is something you have been struggling with. Okay, struggle with it with your therapist. Why are you in Love is Blind UK season 2? Why are you here? You would have told, even, and imagine he told Sarova this earlier. He didn't. He just led her on until today. Sarova is asking herself, why did he marry me? I don't know. Ashley have decided to move on with her life, and I'm not sure they're dating anybody else yet. If they are, they have not revealed that. But the women are just trying to make sense of the entire situation. Poor Katisha had to sit next to Javen and his stupid laughter and his stupid smile. I'm sorry I'm cussing him out, but it's just how I feel about Javen. Javen annoyed me so much in the show. He was just very selfish. He was very selfish. Very selfish. And Katisha just gave me a lot of allowances. In the pot, she gave him allowance. When she met his sister and she was having talk with his sister that was not really giving, she's not very vulnerable with me. And the sister said, yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, he had an issue. Okay, therapist. You don't go to Love is Blind. Therapist, or work out your issue by yourself. Pray to God if you're religious. Don't come to Love is Blind and start playing with people's feelings. That's where I stand on this issue. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that this season was way better than last season? I enjoyed this season more than I enjoyed last season. Last season had this drama too. We had people also that got married and had to break up after the show. So yeah, but we still managed to have two couples from that, and this one we had just one couple at the end of the day. So basically, Love is Blind UK from season 1, season 2 have produced. I've given the world 3 couples. Thank you for chatting with me, and I'm looking forward to your comments. Do you think I judged this man unfairly, or do you think that I'm spot on in my analysis of this? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Boke once again. Goodbye.